Hello everyone. Good morning. How are you doing today? I am very good. I was working a little bit. I've been really busy lately. I have to plan my lessons. I have to continue working on my thesis. And today I really wanted to grade some exams from my students. But when I was doing that, I realized I needed a coffee. So, why don't you go with me to the kitchen and you help me to make a coffee? Let's make a coffee together. Okay, guys, so now here we are in the kitchen. It is funny, don't you think so? How everything in life it's part of a process. From something very simple like making a coffee to a thing that is way more complex, like, for example, shaping who you are as a teacher. And another thing that is really curious is that for both of them, we need some ingredients. So let me show you the ingredients that we will be using. Okay, so there we got our ingredients for today's coffee. We got our milk, or you can also call it the enthusiasm that we put in our classes, or that I put in my classes at least. We also got sugar, an ingredient that makes things more fun, and that's why I associate it with my creativity to plan better activities, to plan better lessons. Then we got coffee, of course, it is really necessary. And the coffee is the patience and the genuine interest that we need for our students. We will add everything to the boiling water. We're gonna boil it in a second, and then we're going to pour it here in this glass that it's like a representation of what am I as a teacher. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is to take our pot with water and to take it here to the stove, and we're gonna turn it on so it can boil. Maybe sometimes you can get like desperate and you would like your water to boil already, but it's all part of a process and you will get your boiling water out of time, right? Or out of experience in my case. Of course, I'm talking about the ability to manage a classroom, the ability to make a topic meaningful for your students so they can get through their process having fun and so they can feel that they are like taken care of and even guide not only as students but also as people, as real people that has some feelings, that has some dreams, and that has some objectives. Okay, there we go. The water is boiling already. So it's like that progression that you feel when you pass from acting like you are in charge of the classroom, but relying in the guidelines and things aside from your own experience, and then you start being in charge of the classroom actually. So let's turn this off. There we go. And now let's pour it in our glass. Amazing. We're half of the process already, and I'm gonna tell you how do I experience these ingredients in my lessons. Okay, so now we will start adding our ingredients. For that purpose, I have like a little spoon here, and we're gonna start by sugar, right? So for sugar, I mentioned before it was creativity, like something sweet that we can incorporate to our lessons. And when I work normally with orals, because I work with orals, I try to make it like really fun and really meaningful for them to add some movement and to give them like the opportunity to connect with hobbies, with interests. So we tend to do many role plays and many different things that they enjoy, many games in general. Then let's go for the coffee. Here we got the coffee. I mentioned before it was the patience and the genuine interest for your students. Working with adults, it's very common that they have different interests, different problems in their lives, different contexts and situations, and it's important to meet those needs that they have, right? Okay, so there we have our coffee. And finally, we got the milk, which is the enthusiasm. I like to think of my teaching persona as an open teacher that you can talk with him about different topics from your life, about the different things that you are interested in. So, for example, I have many like engineers, software developers, and I always talk to them with my knowledge and with my prior experience and my prior knowledge. I speak to them, I ask them questions about what they normally do, about the ideas that they have about technology or something like that, and we connect in a good manner. So yeah, I will say that my teaching persona it's like more outgoing than my real persona because when I'm not in the classroom or when I'm not working, I tend to be more shy or I tend to be more reserved. Now that we got the coffee, I can continue grading. So let's go to the room, to the desk, and let me tell you my conclusions with this exercise. Okay, so here we are back at the desk grading. I enjoyed making this little cooking video, and I hope you have enjoyed watching it. Because making a coffee, it's like shaping our teaching persona. Because we get the ingredients with time, with experience, with effort, and at the end we mix them so we can get like a new adapted personality maybe, or a personality in which we can like boost our positive points and correct our mistakes in the classroom. This in order to help our students in a better way, to make them feel more comfortable, and to help to their learning process, of course. To make this video, I watched the TED Talk by teacher Azul Terrones. The title is What Makes a Good Teacher Great? In which he presents some of the different answers kids gave him across the years, and it's very interesting. I also read the article First Day to First Grade by Anna Curson and Lisa Damour, also very interesting, especially the first chapter, Becoming a Teacher, I must mention. And finally, the article 10 Characteristics of a Good Teacher by Patricia Miller, which I think it's very accurate, and we need more teachers like that, and we need to be teachers with those characteristics. Finally, I want to end the video with a reflection from The Little Prince that Patricia Miller mentions in her article, and it is, which is essential, cannot be seen with the eye. Only with the heart one can know it rightly. So, yeah, I think that's very accurate for the profession and for our labor as teachers. So, let's keep going.